So, Closing Time by Semisonic or Semisonic. I don't know how you say it. They're chords that you probably already know. We've got G major, D major, A minor, and C major. And it's, for the most part, it is that through the entire song. It's very strummy. We're going to use the open chords. So for your G, you can play it like this. You can play it like this. You can play it like this. I'll probably be doing all of the above throughout the song. So choose the G that you like the sound of the best, or that you prefer, that you're most comfortable with. So we've got G, D, and then A minor, and C. Pretty straightforward. So G, D, A minor, C. That's the chord progression, like throughout most of the song. There's like a little bridge, but we'll mostly concentrate on the verse and the chorus. So I'm going to roll a little bit of this song from the beginning so you can hear pretty clear the strum pattern. You know, they're playing it on electric and they're probably doing some power chords and we're doing open chords, but whatever, it'll sound like it. So in the beginning, you can hear that. So let's talk about what that strum pattern means. Okay, so with strumming, you've been doing a lot of finger picking, so it's cool. We're going to work on some strumming, bring you back to that, and it is different. It's different than finger picking, obviously. So what does the strum pattern look like? So we've got like a down, 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 up, down, 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 up. I can't do it and say it at the same time. But you're quick, I know. You can do it. So in the beginning, we can palm mute it a little bit to play with the dynamics so that when we get to the chorus, we'll get all bigger and strummy. So palm mute. All right, take this part of your hand right here. And you're going to practice laying on the strings. Now, depending upon where you put it, you're going to get more, well, you're going to get a different sound. And then depending upon the pressure of which you push, that will depend how much you mute the strings, right? So if you push real hard, you're not going to get, you know, as much sound, which neither right nor wrong. It's just what's your desired effect. It's a lot easier to get some bang for your buck on the palm mute when you're doing electric. I know we've talked about that before, but you can still palm mute with the acoustic. It's cool. So I usually aim for the saddle here, and I kind of put like this little meaty bit right here, like that. Oh, I just remembered I had a dream this morning that my fingers got like nibbled off by a fish in the water. I was like in Thailand or something in my dream, and they ate the, so I just had bones. So yeah, glad that didn't actually happen. Okay, so we're gonna go put the palm right here, and you're just gonna rock your wrist kind of back and forth. So let's start with the G, and let's go a little bit slower, like go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's G, D, A minor, C. way when you get to the chorus, you can be more strummy. So it's the same pattern of when we're hitting the strings, but you can now just strum instead of palm mute. So if you want the sound when you're doing that full-on strum, if you want the chords to keep bleeding into each other and sustaining the sound, you're just going to keep strumming. So that would sound like, it's kind of like, I don't know, you think about like having the pedal down on the piano, like, you know, so do you want more sustained sound? But start to notice like some of the dynamics with your strumming. You might decide that in between some of the chords you feel like you want to stop the sound. So by the way you do that is put that meaty bit on the strings. So just start to experiment with like different sounds you can get from the strum. So if we are going for a bigger strum, so maybe I want to like stop the sound in between some of the chords, like from the D and go back. So now we've got kind of like a hybrid between like strum and palm mute. So maybe we could do that like on verse 2 to keep the song more open. As opposed to closing time, ha ha ha, best pun ever. Okay, so that's the gist of the song. So I don't think that is going to be hard for you, beyond the point of, or beyond like we're strumming and you've been doing tons of finger picking. So there's that, and then there's the singing. I think this is going to be a good key for you. So let's keep it in this key. This is the key of G, by the way. And let's see how it goes for you. I bet it'll be a good key for you. If not, we'll adjust it when I see you next week. So, strategy on verse 1. So let's do a little palm mute. Now you gotta play with this. And what I mean is like, how much pressure do I wanna put on the strings themselves? Because we need some dynamic. So dynamic is it's that same idea that I just talked about. Just more palm, more mute. If we held it down the entire time, it would be like. Which you will do that, especially in electric. But for the acoustic, it's probably not going to give you enough sound. So learning and listening for if I lift a little. So it's like mute, lift, mute, mute. Makes sense? I'm sure it does. You're a fast learner. Okay. So that's really the gist of the song. There's like a little bridge part. Let me see if I can find it. Where it's got, I just want to show you just for a little FYI, give you some more vocabulary with guitar chords. Yeah, so it's this bit. We're not going to worry about really this little electronic part. But the part coming up right after, this little lead part, it's coming. Okay, so that part, and then so first part, oh, it's only one time. Just kidding, it's twice. Okay, so it's that little part, that little lead part, that do-do-do-do. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. So I want to talk to you something about something called octave. So you know what an octave is in piano, or in the concept of music. It's from the note of C up to the next note of C, you know, on the piano. Well, octaves have got a really easy shape on the guitar, and so basically you're I'll explain it to you, and then I'm going to relate it to some other things. So we are actually going to start on the octave of C. So it's on your A string or your 5th string on the 3rd fret. Okay. Then you're going to take your ring finger, number 4. Oh shoot, it's number 3 in guitar. Oh, going in between piano and guitar brain. Okay, and you're just gonna play the 5th string and the 3rd string. Okay, these are both the note of C, as you can probably hear. It's like do to do. Okay, so with this finger, so the top part is going to be fretting the note, and then right beneath it, that little meaty bit, that's going to mute the string right beneath it, because we don't want the string in between the 5th and we don't want to play the 4th string. So we're going to allow our first finger to just gently rest. So it's going to fret that note, and it's going to mute the string right beneath it. And that is your octave. And it's cool because this is a movable shape, like the bar chord. So we'll circle back to that. So it's, when I reference the frets now, I'll just talk about where your first finger's at. So it's always this shape. There's always one fret in between, okay, so like this, just like the bar chord. And there's always one string in between, okay? So we start on the 3rd fret, 5th fret. So look at your dots. 3, 5, 7, 10. That's the first part. So let's do that again. So we go 3, 5, 7, 10. Now on the electric, once again, you can kind of get away with, like, if you have a lot of volume, just kind of sliding in the sound sustains. You might have to strum with the acoustic. So 3, 5, 7, 10. 10's always the hardest for me. You know, I have to reference the 9, the 9th dot, and go to the 1 right after that, you know. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is, I gotta remember now. I think it's 5, 7, 10, 14, I think. I think that's what it is. So I think it's 5, 7, 10, 14. Now, if you got a cutaway, you can pull that off. Or if you're on, you know, an electric. If you're on a dreadnought, it's going to be squishy. You're going to be like, okay? But just do all that you can on this, because I want you to start to get that feel for octaves, that movable shape. So let's do that again. So we're starting at 3, 5, 7, 10. That's the first part, and then of the lead. And the next part is 5, 7, 10, 14. Now they find 14. It's the one right before 15. Okay, so that's that. So practice that. And you have to also kind of like play with the pressure of how hard you're putting your fingers down onto the strings, but still be able to get sound and move them. Okay, so that's that little lead part. Okay, trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, learn the strum first, then add in the singing, because it's most likely going to be a new pattern for you, the strum pattern. So you got to get used to that, and then you can add in the rhythm of rhythm of the singing. And then, you know, even like playing with the palm mute, which I know you've done that before, but playing with the palm mute versus the open strum, even that is going to make it be like, ah, once you start adding in the singing, okay? So let me know if you have questions on that, okay? Have fun, and I'll send you over the Word document that I've been referencing for this with the lyrics and